2000 Excursion. This one's the 6.8 liter V10 four-wheel drive. Got a clunk when we accelerate. So from everything I'm seeing, it is right there where there's splines that go together. So we're going to drop this rear drive shaft off here, lube that up, and see if that takes care of the problem. Basically, I soaked these last night. Those 4 bolts, just soak those in some WD-40. We'll get those loose and drop this drive shaft. Alright, so I've got those 4 bolts out. One thing I did do here is just mark it there, and I marked it down on this end as well. If I can find it here. There we go, on that boot and everything, just so I can line it all back up. Alright, so I've got it down. Pretty dry and crusty in there, so I'm going to use some of this, what Ford recommends. I'll put a link to it. Basically going to put a little bit of that on the splines here, and then in here after I clean them out a little bit. And you don't have to worry about this end. As you can see, it's got a little double slot here, so it's only going to go in one way on this end. The other end, like I said, I marked so that we'll be able to put it back in the same orientation it came out of. Put back together. Again, it was always from a stop, so I'm going to turn everything off here so I can get it as quiet as possible and see if I accelerate from a stop, if that fixed it. No clunk that time, and it clunked every single time before, so I would imagine that was probably the fix. Yeah, no more clunking. Easy as that. So a couple tips: you are going to be taking the drive shaft off, which means park is not going to hold your vehicle anymore, so make sure you're parked on level ground, or you chalk the wheels. I would recommend doing that anyway. Chalk the wheels because as you go to put the drive shaft back in, you're pushing on the vehicle. You might actually roll it a little bit and get things out of line. So chalk the wheels. You know, like I said, you can jack up the back end and put it on jack stands if you want. And it was a 12 millimeter. I'll put that at the beginning as well in text, but it was a 12 millimeter socket. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below and I'll answer them. Thanks for watching.